Cool. Well, it is now 5 after, so let's go ahead and get started. Uh, Everyone, I'm Joe Workman, of course, and this is my second webinar that I've done. The first one we did was on Wednesday, and I try to stagger the times a little bit so everyone throughout the world can enjoy them. I plan on these being quasi informal. Really, as we see here, I actually am going to mute everybody now, so you'll just be hearing me. I do plan on these being quasi-informal. I'll probably go ahead and talk for a few minutes at the beginning, 10, 15, 20 minutes on a particular subject. Today, I'm just going to kind of be going over my new website, showing you guys some of the cool new things that I did with it, potentially show you how I did some things. Then I'll open it up for questions and answer period where you can ask me anything you want. We kind of went way off the subject on Wednesday and got off into tangents and stuff, but some great conversations. I thought it went really well. So again, we're just going to go over my website right now. At the end, please feel free to jot down some questions or post questions in the little questions box that you have on the webinar, and we'll try to go through those, and maybe we can even open up my RapidWeaver file, and I'll give you guys kind of a quasi tour of how I built my site. Okay. So if you haven't seen my new website, we launched our new website 1 month ago today, actually. Really excited about it. Worked on this new site for close to 4 months, actually, and put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it is done 100% in RapidWeaver. Get a lot of questions because people, some developers have not used RapidWeaver. I feel that if I'm going to be selling RapidWeaver plugins and add-ons, I need to eat what I'm selling, right? So this site is designed completely 100% in RapidWeaver, and not only that, it's done. I think I only have 2 or 3 pages in my entire site that's not a Stacks page. So, that says a lot for Stacks. Isaiah did a fabulous job. How could we not live with Stacks? And he's actually on this call, so we might be, be able to hoax him to actually give us some tips and tricks later on. We'll see. I'll put him on the spot. But this is my homepage, as you know. The kind of a slight overview here. This is right here in the middle of the page is the cycler stack. This is my cycler stack, and we're actually releasing an update today that allows you to do these cool little bullets that you see here. Okay, so this, if you guys have the cycler stack, an update will be released today to allow you to, have your own customized bullets. You can even supply your own bullets if you like. Okay. As well as another update that I did is you can have navigation arrows on the right or left or top and bottom based on the effects that you want to use, right? Some other things about my homepage here, my little latest articles this is actually my totem stack. It cycles through at a slower pace, of course, my blog posts that I have on my blog, which we'll be going over a little bit later, okay? And if you guys weren't aware yesterday, I did release a bunch of updates. So if you guys saw a bunch of Sparkle windows popping up on your RapidWeaver files, sorry, it was a busy day. Released a whole bunch of updates yesterday. Okay. The bottom section here is basically, 2-column stacks and some text stacks and whatnot. Later on, I could potentially, it was a question on how did I do all of my custom fonts. So I can actually show you how I did that today. How did if you notice, this is Elixir Graphics Atom theme. And if you notice, there are slight variances to it that I did, right? As you see, the site title is a custom font. This blue background isn't a part of the theme, things of that nature. And I'll be happy to show you how I did that and how I, how most people would do it and how I did it, okay? So let's move on to a couple other pages here that are interesting. The RapidWeaver page. This is my main product page, of course. I'm sure most of you have seen it. And a bulk of that 4 months was developing this page and tweaking it some more and tweaking it again and tweaking it again, because I really thought this was an important page for users, because how my site potentially differs from many of the other developers is I have 130 stacks right now. Now that's total on this products page. I have approximately 90, okay, because some stacks come with multiple and so on and so forth. So I had to be able to have a product page where I can display my products for you guys, and allow you a mechanism to easily locate what you're looking for. Okay, I liked the look and feel of my old one where I had basically a grid of products. Okay, which was done in collage. Another Yourhead plugin, right? I wanted that, but I also wanted to kind of build in the store. I used Cartloom, right? So I wanted to build, buy buttons directly into here. I wanted to be able to let users have a short information about what a particular stack is. But more importantly, I wanted you to be able to search for what stacks you might want, right? So hence was born this filter bar. And this filter bar basically allows you to, I've put in predefined categories of, kind of broad categories of what my stacks are, okay? Of course, the default is all, so you see a list of all my plugins, okay? If you go to bundles, you will then see, all the bundles, so on and so forth, image stacks, sliders, social-based stacks, some utilities, and of course, who doesn't like free stacks, okay? Another thing I did actually with my free stacks, if you haven't noticed, before you had to actually go through and check out the whole checkout process. Now, if you just click on this free button, any of these buttons, you just directly download the stack, okay? No hassle, just go ahead and download it, okay? All you want. So these predefined categories are really cool, and if you notice the nice little effects that happen because of them, right? The little sifting and the filtering of the stacks dynamically happens on your page, okay? But also over here, you can sort by either date, which is the default, okay, which is the last time the stack was updated, okay. So Delicious and Last FM just recently got updates, hence they have a recent date and they're at the top of the list, okay. If you click on name, you can then sort the stacks by name as well, okay. Now another great feature of this filter bar is this search mechanism. Where users can actually go ahead and, let's say I want to find all my stacks that support Flickr. Okay. Now, if you notice, if you start typing, it will give you recommendations on potential keywords that you would want to search for. Okay. And you can go ahead and, let's say I want to search for Flickr. Okay. Hit enter, and it actually dynamically searches for all the stacks that support Flickr that are basically tagged with Flickr. Okay, and that works with a lot of things. Let's say we want, Twitter. Okay, whoops. Apparently that's a bug, right? Oh, case insensitive. So I have my like it stack, tweets, Twitter video stacks, right? So on and so forth. It could be, a lot of different things. Okay, so this is a great way to search for, your stacks, find out what you want, and hopefully, you do find what you want. Next from here, we'll jump into, another interesting little feature that probably has gone unseen is if you hover over a bundle, okay, you'll see a view bundle contents there. And if you click on that view bundle contents, it'll actually show you the contents of that bundle. Okay, so if you go to a smaller bundle, let's say our new starter bundle, click on the view bundle contents, and you see what the contents of that starter bundle is. Okay, this is a really easy, elegant way to see exactly what stacks you're going to get if you were to purchase a particular bundle. Okay, now I'm going to jump into a product page. Now, if you've noticed my product pages, they all follow the same design template. I wanted to create a product page that was didn't have too much information on there for you, but had exactly what users needed. Okay, so obviously you've noticed that I have a lot of beautiful icons. I think that's really important to have things that look nice. So we display our nice icons over here in large 512 view. We give you a very short overview of what a stack is in text. We provide then with screenshots of that stack in both edit mode as well as in preview mode. So there's preview mode and here's edit mode. Now something that's really cool about these screenshots, I should spend about 2 days doing this, is that if you they dynamically resize based on your browser window. So if you notice, whenever I resize my browser window, the screenshot will expand to fit that browser window, and also if you notice, it will also center itself. Okay, so if I do that, you'll notice that it actually centers itself. Really like this. It's really cool, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. Keep your eyes open for a nice, cool little new Lightbox stack that has this effect. Okay. Next, we wanted to be able to, of course, purchase from a product page. So we have our buy button, okay? And then we wanted to be able to view a demo directly on the product page. You didn't want to have to take you away from the product page. And basically, if you click on the view demo button, you'll be able to see a demo area drops down, and then you'll have actual demos of that particular stack, okay? Also within the demo area, you'll notice that there is a button for the settings HUD, so you can actually click on that and actually view the settings HUD for that stack. Okay, and also if there's a user manual available for that stack, click on the user manual button, and that user manual will download it to your machine. Okay. Now, one thing I skipped over is our videos. We are in the process of redoing every single video for every single stack, and make sure that they are done with RapidWeaver 5. We're actually partnering with RapidWeaver Classroom to get these done for you. Okay. Also, another thing on the Cycler stack this product page is we always have the most recent stack version right up here at the top corner of every single product page. So if you're ever curious of what version your stack, what the most current version of a stack is, you can always view it here, okay, in individual product pages. Mac OS 10 page, nothing too great to see here yet. I am working on my first Mac app, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And I do have, if you guys use Twitter, I do have a Twitter extension for Safari that I currently use now. It's actually on my toolbar, and that is Safari Tweet. Okay, allows you to easily tweet whatever web page you're currently on. Okay. Jumping into my blog now. My blog is, I think, extremely cool. This is the new Tumblr stack that has actually yet to be released. This is version 3 of the Tumblr stack. And what is amazing about this stack is it allows you to have a blog hosted by Tumblr. However, you have the look and feel of a blog that is native to your website. Okay, and what I mean by that is, as you see, we list out all your particular posts. You can configure the number of posts per page. Okay, as you know, Tumblr does support various types of posts. So this is a regular text post. So is the Go Squared one. This one is a video post that you see here. Here's another text post. So we actually badge every single post with the type of post that it is. Okay, every post has a tweet this button as well as a Facebook like button. There are 2 styles. This is basically the style number 1, where we have the date at the top right corner. And if we actually go and look at the stack updates blog on my site, this is the second style, where you actually have the date over here. Okay. Now a lot of this is customizable in terms of colors. You can have each post be within its own little boxed container with a custom footer color and things of that nature. Okay. We also support comments, which is really cool. So you can, like I said, the Tumblr blog allows you to store everything locally, or have it look as if it's a native blog to your site. So if you actually click on a blog title, it brings you to that individual blog post on your site. And instead of like the current Tumblr stack, it'll actually take you to your Tumblr blog. Okay, here you don't leave, you stay on your website. And if you notice, we also have basically comments, support for comments, so that your users can leave comments, and you can. This is all supported by Discuss, which is also used on Tumblr. It is possible to have Discuss comments on your Tumblr blog on tumblr.com. And what's cool is I researched on how Tumblr integrates with Discuss, and I did the same exact way. Therefore, if you view a blog post on tumblr.com where you have Discuss turned on, you will see the same comments as if you were on your blog, okay, on your website. Therefore, it doesn't matter if a user comments on your Tumblr blog or on your website. The comments will be fluid throughout both locations. Okay. Some other really cool features, you can actually filter by post type. So if I want to see all my link posts, I can easily click on this link and filter all my posts by link, all my link posts, so on and so forth. We have tag support as well. So if I want to see all my blog posts that have the stacks tag on them, you just click on that particular tag, and a page will be opened up with all of the posts for that particular tag. Okay, very cool. We also support, if you notice here, you can go back, so you can view older posts. So here's older posts, right? And then you can go back to even older posts, or you can go to newer posts. Okay. So that is the new Tumblr stack. It should be released pretty soon. I have a few kinks that I'd like to get wrinkled out before we actually launch. Okay. My new support page is pretty basic here. One cool page that you might be useful for you is this page here. It basically shows you all of my stacks, their current version, their current release date, price, links to their homepage, and links to the user manual if they exist. Right. Now, what's cool? I'm going to kind of get into the background of this site and show you how I do some things. If you notice throughout the site, I of course have a stack of basic information about a product, the name, the version, the release date, its price, URL to its homepage, and basically user manuals, and all of that data needs to be consistent throughout my site. Okay, I don't want to have to go into this page in RapidWeaver and make sure every time I update a stack that I have to update this page. I would have to update the RapidWeaver product page. I have to update the individual product pages, right? That is something that isn't really scalable and isn't leverageable. So basically, all of this is in the background tied in together with a centralized configuration file, a JSON file actually, that basically I edit that one file, and then basically it is then propagated and referenced throughout my entire site. Okay, so that's really cool. What I want to do now is, before we get started, I know people are going to have, I'm going to answer some questions that I got from Wednesday that I thought were really good. And basically, I want to talk about how I customized my site, my theme, basically. I know it is very common practice out there today to go into your theme and make a copy of your theme and then modify your theme directly to make the small changes that you need, right? Tweaking some CSS or whatnot. Okay, most of the time people are tweaking their CSS, and if you want to tweak other things about the theme, that maybe the structure of it and whatnot, that might be most likely your only way to go. Okay, but there are better ways out there than, let's say, in my theme, I want to have this font for every single page. Okay, I want to have this blue header on my page. I want to have my icon being able to peek out, okay, instead of being constrained within the sidebar. I tweak things such as, actually these tabs are slightly tweaked the color. Okay, the footer on the bottom of the very page is slightly tweaked. I have a view cart button, things of that nature. There's things I wanted to customize the theme, but I didn't want to modify the theme. And the reason for that is, let's say Elixir releases an update to a theme, and if I were to have a modified version of that theme, I wouldn't be able to benefit from those updates that Elixir releases. I did this with my first site, with my last website. I had a theme by Nimblehost, and I had essentially modified the theme. I had tweaked it quite a bit, a lot of CSS things I had changed, and I was like, wow, it's really cool, it's great. And then Nimblehost released a bunch of updates, some really cool updates that I wanted to benefit from. However, because I had modified my theme to a pretty large extent, I basically shot myself in the foot, and I was pretty much stuck. Okay, without benefiting from Nimblehost's updates to his themes. So I learned from my mistakes, and this is what I did. I'm going to bring over my RapidWeaver file. Okay, here is my RapidWeaver file for joeworkman.net. Okay, and essentially, what I recommend you do is, instead of modifying your theme, maintain a centralized CSS file. Okay, that you can then simply put in a single call to it within your RapidWeaver file. Okay. Now, during development, as you see here, I'm calling a CSS file that's actually local to my website. Okay. What I did during the development of my site was I actually utilized Dropbox, and I had stored a CSS file inside my public folder on Dropbox and referenced it within the header on every single page. Okay. Therefore, if I were to ever make any tweaks to that CSS file, which actually here, I'll even open it up for you right now. Let me go ahead and get that. Okay. Here is a CSS file that, while I was developing joeworkman.net, it was stored on my Dropbox. And whenever I made a tweak or a modification to this file, what's great about Dropbox is Dropbox automatically uploads the file, online to their site. Once you save it locally, that file is then, accessible on the web, as long as you have a URL link to that file, right? And basically, you would put a link to that file inside your header, and you can easily start playing around with theme customizations and whatnot, simply by creating a CSS file, storing it on Dropbox, and then whenever you make changes to that file and save, it'll automatically get applied and referenced within your RapidWeaver file. Okay. Now I can't really demonstrate that because I no longer have my CSS file stored on Dropbox. When I went live with my website, I uploaded everything to my web server and reference everything locally on that web server, so that I potentially, let's say, deleted the file on Dropbox by accident, it wouldn't affect my website, right? So that was my main reason for that. Okay, but it is a huge benefit, utilizing the public folder on Dropbox to, for your theme modifications. Basically, again, here is this right here is everything that I did to modify the Atom theme. Okay, and basically that's it. So right now I'm going to open up the line for everybody, and I'll unmute everybody, and you will be able to start asking me anything you want, how I did things, and if you want to, any sort of, feedback or questions answered, just let me know, and we'll have basically an open forum. Give me a second. Unfortunately, on GoToWebinar, I have to unmute everybody individually, which is quite a nuisance here. There isn't a unmute all button. Okay, so everybody is now unmuted, and everyone can talk. So please feel free to ask questions. Let me go through, actually, see if people asked any questions in the... Here, let me answer this question that someone typed into the questions box. Is basically what's the difference between gyro and cycler? Okay, they are different stacks. They are somewhat similar, right? Gyro allows for images only. Here, let's go to sliders and go to gyro. Okay, so gyro is image only. One really nice little style element of gyro is this nice ribbon, and as you probably know, there are multiple different ribbons that you can choose from, and it has a certain effect to it. It slides, and then after it hits the very last image, it'll go all the way back, and you go back to slide 1. Okay, that's the only effect gyro gives you. Okay. Cycler is a little bit more elaborate in that it allows any sort of content. Okay, so if I go back to so cycler allows now in my demo I only have images here, but it basically allows you can have anything. Okay, like on my homepage, I have text as well as an image. Okay, so you can have any sort of content that you'd like. Okay, and you actually have, I believe, about 18 different effects that you can choose from. You can actually use multiple effects as well. So if we look back at the demo, if we look at these images up here, you'll notice that they're actually moving in different directions. It's because I'm basically choosing multiple effects and stringing them together. So it'll go slide to the left, and then it'll slide up, and then it'll slide back down, and things of that nature. Again, the current update that I'm going to be releasing today for Cycler will give you navigation bullets. And those are the main differences between gyro and Cycler. Cool. Okay, let's open it up for any verbal questions. You guys have the line, so ask me anything you like.
Joe?
Yes.
This is Stephanie in Hollywood. Could you kind of walk us through your 360 stack?
Sure. Is there any questions before I jump way off topic there on my website, and kind of any questions on how I did things that you'd like to see?
On the website?
Yeah.
On your website?
Yeah, on my like pretty much everything I showed you here. Is any curiosity on how I did what I did?
Stephanie, did you see the stuff I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Did that help at all?
A little bit, but I'm not quite. See, I'm just really kind of stumped with this Rapid Weaver 5 resources and how to get the link into the HUD. So
okay.
So
because we can do a separate one on that if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Or unless Joe wants to go through it now, that's fine too.
Let's see what other questions. I don't want to dive into a very specific support question. If I can kind of cover some more broad topics, but maybe towards the end I might be able to demo that and show you how to do that stuff. Okay, but Stephanie did bring up a nice topic in terms of RapidWeaver 5's new resources, right? RapidWeaver 5 does bring some new things in terms of resources. Here's actually my site file, right? And I have a few resources in here. Actually, here's resources for 360, right? So I actually have a whole bunch of images in my resources. Okay, I added a folder called stacks, and then basically I personally wanted to align my resource tree kind of with my site structure. Okay, so I have a centralized stacks container here that contains all of my stack pages, right? As you see, they're all stacks pages. Okay, so I do eat what I sell, people, right? So basically, I have a stacks page, and then in here I have a 360 folder for of course the 360 demo page. Okay. Since I actually already have this kind of set up, let's just go ahead and show it to you, Steph, so that other people can see it as well. So let's go to my 360 page here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Am I blank? There it is. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oops. I did something wrong. Well, I just found a bug on my site, so apparently I'm not referencing the images properly. So, thanks for live webcasts.
That's the issue you would run into. Stephanie, if you recall, that's the issue you would run into.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I know exactly why.
I did a little different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why, because this is the images are pointing to my sandbox site. Look at that. Bad beta testers. Bad beta testers. Didn't find this. Okay.
Damn kids.
Look at this. Live troubleshooting. Right, live troubleshooting. Look at that, everybody. I'm going to publish this fix right now. Let's see if that actually does fix it. Hopefully it does. All right.
Is that 5.1 you've got working?
This is 5.1. Yep. This is 5.1. I don't know if it...
to see how 5.1 actually goes about doing smart publishing, that's all.
Yeah. I have a really big file here, so it does take a little while to save, but while that's going, I can't really do anything with RapidWeaver right now. There it goes.
While you're doing that, while that's uploading,
I changed my FTP password the other day, so I haven't updated that in my RapidWeaver file, so I'm not going to be able to deploy this fix right now.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
So I've got another. Sounds it's a bit off topic. 360 question.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a virtual tours website in Spanish, Catalan, and English.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can imagine, at the moment I'm doing a lot of changes because there's different tours to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to change the site. My normal one now is a flat HTML. I paid to have it done. I've only just got into RapidWeaver. I haven't bought all the stacks that I want yet. I want to change it over. I bought Aviator theme.
Mm-hmm.
I want your big bundle. I'm going to buy. But I want them to open up in a shadow box. I don't want to put them in an iframe. I want them to open up in a shadow box so they open up to any size screen. I've got a 27-inch screen here, but it takes time to make it look nice on a 17-inch monitor or on a small tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going over to the tablets as well. We can now produce the tours going on iPhones and iPads. This whole resizing thing's a problem, so Shadowbox take care of that for me. So what stack should I use to do that? I've sent you a link to the site so we can have a look at an example. What stack should I use to make these open up?
Sure. So basically, let me. Oops. Apparently that didn't work. Hold on one second. Okay. Cool. Sorry. Just wanted to get that up so we can finish that other conversation. So you want to launch you want to use 360, but you want to have it launch within a lightbox. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
No, I don't want to use 360 because that's different to what I'm doing. That's a 360 view. That's an object VR.
Yes, that's correct.
That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Mine's not an object VR. Mine's a standard 360, look around, go full screen. Etc.
Sure. Okay. Oh, okay. So you have like a panoramic view where you want to show okay, got it. Okay.
On our website at the moment, we've got about, I don't know, in excess of 150 tours, different hotels from all over the world, etc.
No, I mean, you could definitely use the 360 stack. I mean, the demo that I show is a product that is, basically, turning, okay, as we see here, okay? But there's nothing stopping you. All this does is it basically strings together a set of images, okay? Yeah, so if you have images where, you have one image and then you when you go next, it moves over, 50 feet or whatever, you could easily do a 360 view of a room or a resort or whatever you want, right? So you can easily pan over that image. It doesn't have to be what I'm showing you here. Basically all this does is strings images together to make it look like it's, moving, right? But you could exactly show this, with a pano of a room. Oh yeah.
The example that you've got there is quite poor, actually, compared to what can be done.
Yes.
What is the average rating degree?
We just done a job for Bacardi and Nestle.
Mm-hmm.
We paid to have somebody do this, but so it's not that I'm particularly. I say 360, but we don't do that.
Okay.
The objects we subcontract out.
Sure.
But the stuff that we do, I mean, I've just been to Libya, Sudan, all over the world, photographing hotels.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to do is when they click on them, they're Flash files at the moment.
Yeah.
But they're slowly turning over to HTML5, ready for iPads and any tablet use. So we can do it in Flash, which calls an index file and runs SWF files, or you'd see it. I've sent you the link on one of the questions so you can see what it is. But I just want it to open up nice and sexy in a nice shadow box, take over the client screen, close back down, nice and simple.
Okay. So, got it. So you have an SWF file. I think I know you're like kind of like a virtual tour thing. I see the URL. Okay. So to embed it on your site, I do have a free stack called Flash Embed, okay, which will embed any SWF file. Okay. That takes care of at least the embedding piece of your SWF file. Okay.
Call my panel to do it.
Okay. So play around with that. It's a free one, so that's an easy one. Now, in terms of opening it up in a Lightbox, you can definitely use something like my Lightbox stack, okay, which basically you could then have you can have a button. When the user clicks on it, the Lightbox will open up, and inside here will be the Flash embed with your your virtual tour.
And they'll be able to click and drag and move around within that box.
Yes, assuming your Flash file supports that, right?
I've got navigation buttons.
Yeah, exactly. Maps. So that should work perfectly for them. As long as your Flash player that you have or the Flash file you have supports that, that Flash embed stack will be able to pop it right there inside the Lightbox.
It all runs on XML code. But, there's an SWF file, and I can resize that stack to whatever size I want.
Yeah. There's settings. If you look at the settings HUD here, you can define a specific height and width for the Lightbox,
and that will resize to any screen.
No. So basically, you would your Lightbox would be whatever size you'd want to adjust that to be the size of whatever the size of your SWF your virtual tour window would be, right?
Yeah, I mean the virtual tour will go full screen. On the navigation button, it opens up normal, and then when you click the full screen button,
when you click on the full screen button in Flash, then it'll take over your whole window. That my stack won't constrain it, if that's what you're wondering.
So I can open that. Yeah, that's yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I personally would like to see that when it's done.
Yeah, no, I need some help on it, really. I mean, like I said, this is all quite new to me. I want to buy a load of stacks, so I can start playing around.
Sure.
On the website, the URL that I put up there, and the website I paid, I think I paid about $3,000 to have it done. And it all looks nice and it's worked, but it just looks outdated and old now. I started to get interested in WordPress, then I found RapidWeaver and your stacks mainly, Joe Stacks Workman. And that was it. There you go. There.
Yep.
If you click on, say, the Sunseeker 90, the first one down.
Yeah.
Sunseeker 90 or Massalaires or anyone you want to click on there. Now it's taken over your whole screen. You want to turn the sound off as well, Joe. Turn the sound off.
There we go.
To your left. Click on that. That's it. So it opens up like that at the moment, which I don't want. I want it to just float out in a nice light box, shadow box, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. I don't see that being an issue. Basically, you can make the Lightbox the same size as this here, right?
Yeah, that's just one example. I just want it to take over. I don't want the background to fade, Lightbox to open up, close it down, and then the client's still on the page, still allowed to look around, etc.
Cool. Yeah. I think that solution should work out well for you. So Lightbot stack and the Flash embed stack, those two should work out well for you.
Cool.
Let's jump back now that we saw that my fix for 360 works, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm in my
But
360.
does that? Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but does that only work on a 360? I mean, you can't angle up and over like you do in Flash. Yeah?
No. No. Yeah. My
it's just
stack.
complete-
Yeah.
Complete 360.
Yeah.
isn't
My
it?
stack is
So,
nothing like that virtual tour that you just saw. Right.
No,
Those
yeah,
virtual
yeah,
tours, you
obviously.
know, companies come in with their special cameras, and I don't know how they
Yeah,
do it all,
yeah,
but
cool.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not an option.
That has not. Yeah. I don't have a stack
Ski
that does that.
resorts.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not yet.
But
That's the next one. That'd be the next one.
yeah. I mean, this all you're seeing here is a stream of images, as we see here, that I've added into my site resources. I have 25 images. Okay. And let's show you how I configured that. Basically, if we go into the stack, I know. So basically, how 360 works is your images have to be in sequence, and they all have to have a number. Okay. And basically, you give it, the number of images, which is 25. It starts at 1. It has to end at 25. Okay. And basically, you give it a prefix. So you can't see this. Let me go ahead and open up a.
Why does it have to end at 25?
It's only because I have 25 here, right? So that's why I configured it with 25. If you have 50 or 100 or 200, whatever.
Be a lot smoother.
Exactly. The more images you have, the smoother it will be.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So basically, I know the prefix. So you can, if you go into a resource, okay, you can see where the online location is for a particular for a particular resource. So you can copy that, right? Oops, copy that. Okay, let's paste it over here and just look at what that is. Okay, so here I've pasted the URL to that resource inside this text window here. Okay, and basically the 360 stack requires everything before the number. Okay, so in this case, the name of my file is a number, but let's say I had image1.jpg. Okay, that was my location and the name of my file. This would be what I would configure inside the stack prefix. So if we go in here, where is 360? Go back into here. Okay, this is what I'd paste into the prefix. Okay, and then file extension is of course JPEG, because you could use PNG or whatever extension you have on your images, right? So that's how you use site resources with the 360 stack.
But I think one of the issues was that link that was coming up when you were looking at the image for the online location wasn't always shown until after it was published.
But it was signed.
It should if you click on this little guy here. There were some issues that I know were fixed in 5.1, so maybe make sure you have 5.1. I know there were some issues here that they resolved in 5.1. So
I haven't
that
done
could
it since 5.1, but
that could be.
yeah, there were certain issues, and I think Stephanie was having that issue where it wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the upgrade.
And if you want to predict what the path is, I mean, it's pretty reliable. You have your domain, right? And everything that's inside this resources tree goes inside a resources folder. So my domain /resources, right? And then from here on, it's just everything that I have done, right? So I added a stacks folder, right? So inside I have a stacks, okay? Then I have a 360 degree folder, hence 360 degree. And then it's the name of my file, right? So you can pretty easily predict what the URL to these files would be, if you had to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, you could, but in that example that I sent you, Stephanie, I
Yeah.
think I said to publish it first. to get your URL and then go back into the file and put your URL in?
Right,
Could
right.
be,
I
yeah.
think
Exactly.
that's what I told you to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because
Yeah, I
at
just
that
assumed
time,
that. Yeah.
at that time in my example, it wasn't showing up until after it was published.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, Joe.
No problem. Any
Yeah,
other
thank you
any
very
other
much.
questions,
Confused here.
everybody?
Joe, I'm a bit confused here. Can you
Yes.
explain there? You're pointing a path to resources on your server.
Sure.
Is that right?
So, of course I closed that window. Let me open up a new text editor here. Okay. Now let me make this. Can I make this text bigger? Here, let's open up. Text edit. See, spinning pinwheels of death happen to everybody. Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, so let's make this nice and big so we can see it here. Can you guys see that
Right.
clearly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's dissect this for you guys. Okay. This is of course my domain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then everything. So if we look at RapidWeaver, let's go ahead and put these side by side here. Here, I'll get rid of this window. Let's do this. Let's have a nice big screen.
Are those images on your domain server, or are they in RapidWeaver?
These ones are in RapidWeaver resources right now. Okay.
So why do you need to have your path or your domain on there?
Oh, you're saying so?
Is that just because you have to do
You
that?
don't. You don't. I guess you could do this, right? You could do that, but if you do that, it's not going to work in preview mode in RapidWeaver.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I
You've got a template.
was just wondering if you're duplicating, putting one on the server and one within RapidWeaver.
No, I'm not duplicating because when I put it in RapidWeaver and I click the publish button, RapidWeaver
Yep.
puts it on my server for me, right?
Right.
Okay, and this is the location that it puts it in, and the location that it puts it in is my domain, resources. So everything goes inside the resources folder. Okay. Now in URL world, think of all these slashes. Each one of these is a folder essentially. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my resources folder. Okay, and then inside there, down here, if we look down at my stacks, okay, down here, okay, as you see, I have resources, and then I have stacks. Okay, inside stacks, I put in another folder called 360 degree. Do we see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and inside there, that's where I have, all my images. Okay, so if we want to construct this in my URL, it's joeworkin.net/resources, because that's where everything in here is put. Okay, and then the stacks folder that I created, and then the 360 degree folder that I created, and then the name of my file.
You see, I'm confusing this with warehousing of images. You see, which is what perhaps.
Now, I warehouse a lot of images as well. As you notice, I have some files here in my RapidWeaver resources. Okay, I do have some, but hold on one second.
Well, it's in that resources folder because that's where RapidWeaver puts it. It's essentially it's kind of the same thing as the warehousing. It's just warehousing.
My question is that why do it in both places when you can have it in
You don't have to do it in both
You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to. If you're warehousing images, they're and you're fine and you're comfortable doing that. A lot of users aren't. okay, then go ahead and continue doing that. Now, on my server, I have a folder called Depot, okay, which contains, I have more site images, I have, it's a very large structure, right? And all this is managed, you know, this is where I have my CSS file, okay, that used to be on Dropbox, right? I copied it here, right? As you see, this has a lot of stuff in it, okay? A lot of images with every single product. Every single product has its own folder, and inside there are everything from thumbnails for screenshots to the actual screenshot, okay? All of those are warehoused on my server. The icons that you see on the main RapidWeaver page, those are all here. Now, I did a lot of this because if you notice, a lot of my things have a naming standard. So I have an ID for a product, and then every single thing has the ID-78.png for every single product. It's identical, and that's always going to be the icon, right? My preview screenshot is always the same naming standard. And I do that so I can programmatically, with JavaScript or PHP, find out exactly what image I want. I don't need to hard code anything. But that's getting...
Yeah, no, that was just a query that I had while you had it there. And
really, I mean, the real reason I have them here is, I wanted to play around with resources so that I knew how to support you guys, right? That do use resources. So I needed to make sure I knew and I had a handle on how resources worked within RapidWeaver. Okay, so that was one thing for my own edification. And also is because when I was building the site early days on, it was just convenient. It's very convenient just to throw in a file in the resources pane here and just have it work, right? So again, it's just convenience. Now, as a lot of you probably know, there is a resource macro. So let's say, for instance, for simplicity's sake, I want to access this bellowpro.otf, okay, which is the font that you see on the header and a few other places on my site. Okay, so as you see here, this is a common site that I use as an accent font throughout my site. Okay, this is the font file for that. So if I didn't want to, type in this full URL to a particular image, you can use what RealMac has done, and that's the resource macro. And you can do resource, okay, and then the name of your resource. So it's bellowpro.otf. Okay. So you can paste that, into wherever you need to access that resource. Okay. Now, unfortunately, 360 is somewhat of a the 360 degree stack is somewhat of a exception to the rule to this resource. You can't use this resource macro inside your 360 degree stack. Okay, and the reason is because two different configurations within the stack need part of it. Okay. Now I've thought about.
So do you just add?
Sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, I was going to say, do you just add the font to your resources? Then it will take it from there.
No. So then, sorry. Thanks for reminding me. I was going to show you guys that.
No, because I was going to ask about whether they were images or you actually.
Nope. It is a font, and basically inside my CSS. Here, let me. Oops, what happened here?
No, because I thought it looked really good, and I thought maybe it did an image, but when I did a look at the code.
Okay, so here is the syntax that we would need to be able to do that. So basically, it's something called font face. Okay, I don't think we need this anymore.
It's 11 o'clock.
Face cover the whole site.
So basically, I have Well, let me go over the syntax. So I have
yeah.
font face. Okay, it's a CSS syntax, right? You give your font a name. So in this case, I gave it a name, Bello Pro, and then you give it a URL to this file. Okay, this bellopro.otf. Okay. Then whenever you want to use that font, basically you just define font family Bello Pro, okay, and that font will be used. Do you understand that syntax?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how I got it on every single page on my site goes back to what I was saying earlier. Okay. On every single page on my site, okay, I, in my header, put a link to a CSS file. Okay. So that CSS file it's actually this file right here. Okay. As you see, this file contains the @font face, and it contains, for H1 site title, use Bello Pro. Okay. So for every single page, I link to this CSS file. Okay. Now this goes back to, if I ever change this CSS file, it's then going to change every single page that is referencing that CSS file. Correct? Okay. And that's going back to the also.
Yeah, I was wondering, how did you...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Joe. I was wondering, how did you get the link to your Dropbox for the CSS file?
Sure. So here, I'll bring up
the coding on that.
Let's show you. So as you see here, let me bring up.
It's really just the code, because it sounds like a great way to work it.
Yep, it is an awesome way to work it. So here's the actual file, and this is actually on my Dropbox right now. So you right click on there, you go Dropbox, and you do copy link. Okay.
Right.
So I now have a link, a public accessible link to that CSS file. Okay. Then all you got to do is go into, in here and paste that.
And the custom code you have there.
This is a common.
Yeah.
Here, I'll open up.
Oh, hang on. I can't. It's alright. I can't really see it.
Here, it's okay. I will. I'll make it nice and big for you. This is a common syntax for how to, link a CSS file inside your website. Okay, so it's a common link command. You can probably Google it and get the syntax. But this is how even themes. They'll reference a CSS file. This is how you add a CSS file to your HTML page.
Right, okay. Oh, that's very handy.
Okay, here I'll even...
Excellent.
Okay.
Screenshot.
Yeah, got that.
There you go. Well, guys, we just went over an hour. I'm willing to go a little bit longer. Anyone else have any more questions?
CMS.
CMS. What about CMS?
Yeah. That's it, really. Giving somebody access to change what they can on site without using RapidWeaver from an external source.
Yep. CMS is a beautiful thing. Yes. There are many ways to do CMS, right? The traditional CMS, if you look at something like I'm not going to be able to go into a huge tutorial. That's probably a topic that I could create, for a session, and I do plan on doing that. But I'll give you a really quick rundown right now, okay? So if you go to my CMS section here on my site, right, there are several things here, okay? I don't know if you've used my PageLime stacks, but they are a great way to allow you to deploy, a RapidWeaver site, allow your users to edit that site, and then what's great about the PageLime stacks is even if you were to deploy your RapidWeaver site back, after, let's say the client asks you to make some modifications or add a new page or things like that, okay?
Yeah.
If you deploy from RapidWeaver, it's not going to overwrite your customer's changes, okay? So that's a traditional, what a lot of people think of as a CMS, which is basically, let's say on my homepage, let's say I deploy this for a customer, or let's say you deploy this for me and I'm your customer, okay?
Yep.
And you want to give me the ability to edit this text here, Okay,
Yeah.
maybe to add some well, I don't want to give you illusion cycler isn't page line compliant, but um, you wanted to change the links down here, maybe
Yes.
stuff like that,
Simple
right?
text.
Change this image, right? Things of that nature. Okay, you wanted to give them access
Yeah.
to stuff like that.
Is there a
Page Lime
password
is perfect
protected?
for that. Okay,
Yeah. Is
um,
that password protected as well?
it is. Page Lime is password protected.
Cool.
Okay, and it is
How did you
free
get?
actually up to 3 websites. Okay, but if you are a web designer and you're developing a lot of websites for people, it is your business. I definitely
Yeah.
recommend their pro account, which I believe is, I don't know, $10 to $15 a month or something like that. It allows you unlimited, customers, and
Yeah.
basically you can customize the interface. So you can have it look like your clients are logging into Joe Workman CMS instead of PageLine, right? They
Ah.
have no idea that it's PageLine. It looks very professional. It's completely your branding, and but you get to utilize all of PageLine's resources. So
It's about $10 to $15 a month.
yeah, I think it's something like that. They have oops, of course it's not that. I guess it's $20 a month for up to 50 websites, which is pretty good. Okay, you
Cool.
can customize with your URL, your logo, your colors. So they won't even your clients won't even know that it is PageLine that you're actually using. Okay, but of course, if you use the free account, you can do 3 sites. But of course, they log into cms.pagelime.com, and it's all everything's branded as PageLine. Okay,
Right.
um, so if you want your own branding and you are building a lot of websites for your customers, I think this is a great value.
I haven't worked out how to use RapidWeaver yet. I'm not building anything for anyone just yet.
So, but keep it in your back pocket. It is useful. Other CMS solutions. So I told you, that's the traditional CMS solution, right? But
Yeah.
there are other ways to do CMS, right? Blog. Okay. Let's say if you deployed my site for me, right? Because of this Tumblr stack, I can then post my blog post to Tumblr, okay, and then it shows up on my website,
Yeah.
right? That's CMS as well. Okay, same thing with a lot of my, which I don't even think. I don't even have them listed here. Bad Joe. A lot of my Flickr stacks. Okay, or Mobile Me Slideshow or Picasa, right? Anything or even Ember, right?
Any resources
They're
online,
they're
really.
using so your customer could upload images to flickr.com, right? And
Yeah.
then with these stacks, you're allowing that user to display them on their website. So it gives them control, right? On the contents of what's being displayed.
Mine's mainly for different languages because my
Okay.
Spanish is great, but my Catalan is poor. So I'd like to be able to just send it over to my colleague and say, right, there you go, log in. I've written the English and the Spanish version. You do the Catalan.
Oh, okay, there you
I
go.
can guarantee it's better than mine.
Pardon?
I can guarantee yours is better than mine.
so So I'm sorry if I didn't go too in depth. Have a look at
No,
PageLine.
that's fine.
CMS is a really big topic, and I could probably talk on that for an hour alone. So, any other
I'm
uh,
going to be
any other
Sure.
questions?
Yes. How did you make the stacks move on this page that you're showing right now?
Aha. So this this is completely pretty custom built. This page this is one of the non stacks pages. This is an HTML page. So this is just straight code that I developed on my own. However, with that said, we definitely plan on eventually productizing this, for you guys. I think it's really cool. I know a lot of people would enjoy having this as an option for their site. So it is something that we will be working on in the future to productize this. It probably won't be a stack. It might be a little bit too complicated to be into a stack. So probably look forward to a plugin or something of that nature that can do this.
Timescale?
I'm sorry?
Timescale?
Timescale? When I get to it.
Does clean up. It'll clean up a lot of stuff on sites when someone's got a look and they're going to select something. It's very good.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really nice and tidy. I mean, for my site, for hotels or restaurants or miscellaneous, clicking on them and having them move around will look very smart. And it does look, so let us know when you do.
Sure.
Explain more.
Trust me, I think we'll tell everybody.
Yeah. Any other feedback on the site? Just curious. I'd like to get some live feedback from people. Is there anything you don't like about the site? I know a lot of people are very kind and generous and say, "Oh, the site's beautiful," but is there anything that you find not so great about the site, or is it all peachy keen?
No, it's not. Just opening it up now.
I like the old site, Joe.
You like the old site?
Yeah.
Ah,
Never mind.
Yeah.
interesting.
Much better.
What the old site was better?
Yeah.
What was better about the old site?
No, I'm yanking your chain.
You on?
Oh.
The third
I was
Twitter
gonna
option
ask.
scares me.
Hey,
Sure.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. On the on your the rows stack.
Yes.
Are the rows independent? Can you change the size? I mean, the size of the columns in the rows, or is it?
Yes, they are. So it requires a little bit of work. We have an FAQ on that. So why don't you check out our FAQs and search for rows, and there's a whole post on how to make each individual column a different size.
Okay, and I believe because you can drop out the lines as well, can't you? The point on. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
No, that would be great. Yeah. So the border size you can get rid of.
Yeah. Check out our. So if you go our support page, if you just go to our forums and FAQs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you can just search for rows,
right.
and how do I customize the width of a column in my table in rows and Power Grid?
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. No,
So there you go.
Yeah. No, it would come in handy if I can use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, general question.
Sure.
You're on your Stacks product page, you've got the dates.
Yes.
How can I tell if my stacks in my library are the dates that you've got there?
You won't be able to see the dates, but you can definitely see the versions, right? So maybe what you do is go to this this table that I had shown here, where you can at least see everything in one spot. Okay, and then if you go to a stacks page, right here, we'll go home. Okay, and if you bring up a settings HUD, you can easily see exactly what version you have installed. Okay, and then basically you can compare that over here. But any stack that I've released within the last probably year now, it supports Sparkle updates. So if you look at the HUD and you see the version looks like a little number, basically you can click on that and it will check to see if there's an update. And if there is, you can actually download the update right there. Okay, so I mean, you don't need to really go and do a manual check of stuff. A majority of these stacks, do have, if it shows this little button, then it'll automatically check for updates for you.
Yeah, Little Snitch has picked it up. I've noticed on 5 point. Little Snitch now.
Oh really? Oh okay, funny.
It'll say check for Joe Stacks work.
Funny.
That's actually good to know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Started picking it up. Well, on mine it has anyway.
Interesting. There are some stacks. Like I released an update to Speech Bubble, which is a pretty old stack that I've had, but I recently revamped it to use some of the new Stacks APIs and whatnot. And when Speech Bubble was originally released, actually little over a year ago, Stacks didn't support Sparkle updates and stuff like that, auto updates. So you won't be able to auto update that. So if you wanted to get the latest version of Speech Bubble and you had an older version, basically you'd have to go through the old school channels of basically going to your invoice and re-downloading it from there. So I guess I'm going to start wrapping it up, guys. Thank you very much. How did you guys like this forum or this webinar? Did you guys find this useful? Yes, no?
I thought it was fantastic, but I would like to be able to see who else is here. I don't know if I can do that. I'm looking at the control panel now.
I'm sorry, you'd like to see what? I'm sorry.
I know we've got Stephanie here as well.
Yeah. Oh, you'd like to see the other attendees?
Yeah, how many other people? Because there's one guy that's been helping Stephanie who seems to be...
he's yep, that I should have introduced him. That is Tron. Tron is my head of support. So if you send an email to my support desk, Tron is the man that will most likely be helping you out.
I think I'm the guy that confused you about the warehousing issue.
And he's also the guy that can confuse you, as you see.
That wasn't me. That was the other fellow in Harrow, I think.
I am going to be working on. I'm going to try our next seminar. I scheduled this with GoToWebinar. My next meeting I'm going to probably do with GoToMeeting, which is slightly different. Same company though, right? Same service.
Well, at least this one worked this time.
Yeah.
For me.
Good.
I couldn't stay up. I couldn't stay up till 3 o'clock the other morning.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I wanted to do kind of flip flop, so I can get everyone in the world can join in.
It was my wife's fault. She opened the wine, and that was it. Listen, Joe, thanks very much for tonight.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it, and ladies.
I'll be purchasing some of your stacks
Excellent.
very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. Very helpful.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. And remember, we'll be doing these on a weekly basis, so feel free to join in and let other people know about it so they can benefit as well.
Just out of
Thanks
curiosity,
a lot.
what's the max people you can have on these webcasts?
So I right now at this session I can have up to 100. But I'm currently in a free trial with this system, so we'll see if I'm going to need that much, because we'll see.
How many people are on now?
Right now, there were 15 people on at one point. 14 people actually. I had 15 register, 14 joined.
Cool.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Good effort.
So we got a lot of quiet ones out there. I see some people have their hands up. Tamara, Steve, and Rusty. Sorry, I just noticed that you had raised your hands.
already-
I've still got my hand up.
Oh,
Who did
okay.
that? Oh,
Is it down now?
Okay, yeah.
I've been clicking it all night. I wasn't actually right. I was trying to wave to you. I've been clicking it on and off all night.
I've just been clicking up and down these little icons. On
Sorry,
the sides
I'm new to this whole system, so I just noticed that the people had their hands up. So I want to make sure that I wasn't ignoring anybody.
No, I was just clicking icons randomly.
Okay, I'm off. Thank you very
Excellent.
much.
Thank you very much, guys. You take care.
Speak to you soon.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.